Hello there and welcome to today's video in which I'm making the iconic character Beverly from the film Abigail's Party, and it was a film that was created in the 70s by Mike Leigh and it formed part of the Play for Today series on the BBC, and it's just brilliant. If you've not seen it, I heartily recommend you give it a go. So I'm just going to start by making Beverly's heads, as I usually do with my model making. It's always a good place to start. I've wanted to make Beverly for quite some time now actually, because I made the characters Candice Marie and Keith from Nuts in May last year, and I had such a hoot making them. I really enjoyed it. And of course the character Candice Marie and Beverly from Abigail's Party are both played by the amazing Alison Steadman. But I find it really quite astonishing really, because both characters are so different to one another. Candice Marie from Nuts in May is a very fragile kind of character. She's very vulnerable, very childlike, and Beverly is the total opposite. She's, you know, a real go-getter, and even her build is completely different, and I think it just shows how chameleon-like Alison Steadman is as an actor. She's just brilliant. What I didn't realise, however, was while researching Abigail's Party for this video, I found out that Alison Steadman was heavily pregnant at the time she was playing Beverly. So it kind of explains the dress that she was wearing, because I always thought it was quite an odd choice of dress, but you know, if she was trying to hide her bump, she did that really successfully, because I honestly wasn't aware that she was pregnant. But regardless of that, she just looks like an entirely different person to Candice Marie, so it's, yeah, quite astonishing really. So if you've not come across Abigail's Party as yet, I'd heartily recommend it. It's basically a comedy about class, and particularly in the 1970s when there was a kind of whole new league of aspirational, newly middle class people that were moving out to the suburbs, and kind of just a statement on that really. Abigail is a character that we don't see. It's I think a 15-year-old girl who's having a birthday party next door, so there's a few guests that come over to Beverly and her husband's house for a kind of cheese and wine kind of evening, so much hilarity ensues after that. But it's not like a slapstick comedy or anything like that. It's more understated than that, but you know, I really love it. But it certainly oozes the 1970s when you watch it. And both Nuts in May and Abigail's Party were of course devised and directed by Mike Leigh, who was the father to Alison Steadman's baby while she was making Abigail's Party. So yeah, there's some interesting facts for you. So I really don't like making dresses generally with polymer clay, and I avoid them where possible because they're just not my favourite thing to work on. If anything can go wrong with dresses, invariably they will go wrong while you're making them, because they have to be really neat, and if you make an error it really kind of shows in your end result. So yeah, I try and avoid them, but this dress is so iconic that I kind of really wanted to give it a go at some point. So yeah, I just decided to challenge myself this week, so we'll see how I get on. So moving on to a slightly different subject, I've noticed over recent months that, well, since I made Whispers Red ASMR last year, that I have pretty regular comments coming through asking whether I'd consider ever doing any ASMR content, because my channel tends to be a bit on the unintentional ASMR side of things really. I think because I try and keep it all sort of so soft-spoken and relaxing in tone, so yeah, it obviously gives that kind of vibe really. And basically I've never really given it any kind of serious thoughts, because I just thought, you know, I've got all sorts of background noise going on my channel at the best of times, so you know, it's not really appropriate for ASMR. But I kind of reminded myself last week while I was watching one of the videos on the Springbok ASMR channel that she's such a great ASMR artist. It's a real shame that she's not uploading anymore, but I found that on a lot of her videos you can hear airplanes, so she obviously lives fairly local to an airport somewhere, so you know, it's not something that I've been hugely bothered with, so I thought, well, you know, it might be something that I could consider, not on my channel, but perhaps if I set up a second channel that, you know, is similar in content to Clay Disarray. You know, I'm still going to be kind of looking at crafty kind of stuff really, maybe not clay all the time, but certainly bits and bobs around my studios. So yeah, I think it yeah, it's something I perhaps should give a bit more consideration and thought to really. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if I were to set up a second channel where I focus just on ASMR content really. As I say, you know, I'm going to have problems with background noise, but hopefully it's something that doesn't bother folks too much. You know, it's something that we can just try and see really. It's perhaps worth experimenting, but you know, I've gone on and on and on my channel about how much I love ASMR content, so yeah, I think I'd like to give it a go. But yeah, would be really interested to hear your thoughts on that and whether you think it's a good idea. I don't know whether you can hear all sorts of bird song outside my studio now. We can certainly tell that it's springtime. So now I'm making a load of ruffles for Beverly's dress here, really to try and evoke that kind of 70s aesthetic. And it's a really kind of 70s colour actually, this dress, you know, this kind of orangey brown colour. It's not my favourite in the world, I have to say, but certainly it was yeah, of its time. So you'll see there's lots of detail coming together now on this dress, and I just need to give her a necklace. And it's got lots of dangly pieces on this necklace, so I just need to focus on that. It's not a direct interpretation of the necklace, but you know, it's a Clay Disarray style one really. So now I can focus on her hair, and it's a very 70s kind of chignon that she's got going on. I think that's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Chignon? You can tell me if I'm wrong. I used to do my hair a lot like this years ago actually. So now her hair's all done, and I'm going to bake her for the final time. And here she is, all done. I'm pretty happy with the model. The likeness could be, you know, a lot better, but as I say, it was really difficult to try and capture Alison Steadman for this one because she looks so different as this character. So, you know, I definitely think you can tell who the model is supposed to be, so that's enough for me on this occasion. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.